Hello, my name is Jeremy and I will be teaching you about the game of golf. Hopefully, after this quick lesson, you will have the confidence to grab some clubs and head to your nearest golf course. The sport. For those of you who know little to nothing about golf, the game is unlike most other sports because it is played over a large area of land, which is known as the golf course. The goal of the game of golf is to be the player that gets his or her ball into each of the course's cups or holes with the fewest number of strokes. The average golf course can cover 50 to 160 plus acres. No two golf courses are the same and each will have its own design. Some golf courses are open to the general public, while others are private. To golf on a private course, you will need to become a member of the private courses club, or you can play the course when you're accompanied by one of the club's members. A golf course will generally have 9 or 18 holes and the holes are numbered. The holes must be played in order. You cannot play hole 1 and then move to hole 4. Also, when someone is referring to a round of golf, they generally are talking about playing 18 holes of golf, even if they are playing on a course that only has 9 holes. These holes are located on areas known as putting greens. The areas leading up to the putting greens include the teeing area, the fairway, the rough, and the hazard areas. The teeing area, the fairways, the rough, and the greens will have different heights of grass on them. As you might suspect, the rough will be the areas on the golf course that have the highest grass on them, and the putting greens will be the areas on the golf course that have the shortest grass. The hazard areas on golf courses are places you don't want your ball to go. These areas may be small ponds, sand bunkers, or even wooded areas or areas of thick vegetation. The area for each hole where golfers make their first stroke toward the putting green is called the teeing area. The golfer's goal with his tee shot is to get his ball as far up the fairway as possible and onto the putting green. Scoring. Each hole on a golf course will have a par, which is a number. This number tells golfers how many strikes a skilled golfer generally takes with his club to move the ball from the teeing area down the fairway onto the putting green and into the hole. Golfers use the hole's par as a guideline and they try to keep the strokes as close to par as possible. Generally, the pars that you will run across on golf courses will be par 3s to par 5s. However, some par 6s exist on bigger courses. Pars for each hole are determined by the number of yards from the teeing off areas to the putting greens. Of course, special circumstances such as downhill areas, hazard area locations, and other factors affecting the ball are taken into account to determine pars. After each hole, the process is repeated at the next hole. After a round of golf, the golfer with the fewest shots is designated the winner. Scoring cards. As players play a round of golf, they keep score on scorecards. Keeping up with your golf score is really easy. Each stroke you take in a hole is counted, and at the completion of each hole, you will write down the number of strokes you took to complete it. After the golf round is complete, you will tally these numbers to get your golf score for the entire game. The golf course will give you your scorecard prior to a round of golf. On the scorecard, it will contain information about the golf club, a map of the course layout, colors of flags to determine the distance of holes. However, all scorecards will have the following information on them no matter wherever you go. Each hole will be listed by number. You will also see the length in yards for each hole listed for each tee type. These tee types generally include one for men and one for women. After a round of golf is completed, players will tally up their scores to see what they shot. In addition to golfers telling you what number they shot on a hole, such as 75, 85, or whatever their number is, you may hear terms to describe a golfer's outcome for a hole or a game. Here's the guideline. Triple bogey is 3 strokes over par. Double bogey, 2 strokes over par. Bogey, 1 stroke over par. Par is equal to par. Birdie is 1 stroke under par, and eagle is 2 strokes under par. The equipment you'll need. You only need a few clubs. You're allowed to carry as many as 14 clubs in your bag, but you don't need nearly that many when you're first learning. Instead, start with a driver, putter, a sand wedge, and then you can supplement those with either a 6 or an 8 iron. These are the clubs that are the most forgiving and easiest to get airborne. Grip it and rip it. These are the 3 ways to hold and grip your club: overlapping, interlock, and 10-finger. Try all 3 to see what works for you and what fits best with your swing type. Addressing the ball. The proper setup includes ball placement, alignment and foot position, balance, and then your posture. Ball placement. Position of the ball depends on which club you select, as you can see by this diagram. The left foot in this picture is your front foot. So where you see where your driver needs to be just inside your front foot. And then the further down you go, your sand wedge, which has the most loft out of these clubs, is right centered in the middle of your feet. Balance. The longer the club, the more weight goes on the back foot. You want your weight on the balls of your feet when you swing. Posture. Stand with feet as wide as shoulders and stand straight while extending your arms and golf club in front. Slowly bend forward at the waist until your club touches the ground, and slightly bend knees and allow arms to drop.